Right, we are live. 95% sure we are live. Let me pull up the little chat over here. Let's open this up with a browser. Got the restream chat going. Boom. So we're open over there. Let's double check on Facebook over here. Check on YouTube. Let's give it a few looks here and there. So yeah, looks like we are ready to rock. Hope everyone had it's Monday already. It's crazy. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I know we had a good weekend. We looked at some houses, so Larissa and I are busy and looking. We're in the market, so we've been exploring places. Although our the Range Rover got a nail in the tire, and then the guy came out to fix the tire in the rain, and he said there was no lock in the trunk, so he left. And then I went back down with Larissa, and we found that the lock was right where it was supposed to be. He just doesn't know what he's talking about. So anyway, it was an eventful weekend, to say the least. So the first thing I wanted to do before anything else was to share today's paid traffic tip of the day. If you guys have been following me for the last week, you know that since the start of May, I've been doing a paid traffic tip every single day, at least for 15 days leading up to the the rollout launch of paid traffic training, my brand new Facebook course. So we got a big month. We have a big launch, a big webinar. By the way, you can register for the webinar by going to any of the paid traffic tips, and there's a little box on the right. Go to the link, register for the webinar. It's a live webinar. I'm going to be sharing a lot of cool stuff. And I can actually drop the link to the paid traffic training right in here. So let's check out today's paid traffic tip at... There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So that posted. I don't believe it posted to Facebook. So still working on all this good stuff with Restream and Ecamm. Still some kinks here and there. I think the biggest one is the chat feature, like the synchronization of chat across the platforms is not where I'd like it to be. So let me try this, because I think it's some of the stuff's like read only, write only. So some of the stuff you just can't share. So I have to manually drop the paid traffic tip of the day on every one of these places, which it's a little easier than, to save a little more time by not having to stream and restream everywhere, but a little annoying. So we'll figure that bug out when we get there. So depending on where you're watching this live, the tip could be arriving somewhere. I think on my personal page, I dropped the tip. The public figure page, I'm going to be dropping it in the next minute or so. Although it's not actually, my public figure page is not actually streaming it, which is interesting. So that's not sure why that's happening. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. So today's tip, what I kind of broke down, and you guys can go check it out after this video if you want, is kind of a little walkthrough of automation rules. So I'm a big believer in automation rules. I think it's critical. It's something that every ad account should have. And if you're not using automation rules, you're leaving a ton of money on the table, and you're also losing an unnecessary amount of money every single day because you're not stopping things that are underperforming, and you're not reallocating budget to the things that are performing. And so I kind of go through our top automation rules, where we're using them, which ones you should use, all that good stuff. And so hopefully you guys enjoy that tip. And like I said in past videos too, if there are specific questions, specific areas, specific things that you're struggling with that you want covered in the future tip of the day, I know what happened. It's so the whole privacy setting thing on Facebook drives me absolutely. It's like up there in terms of my top pet peeves and frustrations. And you'd think I would learn, right? You'd think that I would get better about understanding that it does this to me almost every time, but it's so random where it'll put, like, just randomly some days it'll change my privacy settings to friends only or to private. Like there was one day where I did a live for 15 minutes, and I realized I was in the car and nobody watched it, and it's because it was a private live. Facebook had just defaulted to that. So that's what's happening right now, is my privacy settings were set just to friends only. So I wasn't able to share it to the right place. And anyway, so I got that fixed, got that resolved. But it is it is incredibly frustrating that there's inconsistencies and it just doesn't save the setting, or at least for me. Maybe it's just somebody just having a field day screwing with me on the back end. But anyway, so what I wanted to share, beyond obviously the tip of the day, which is super important, we need to check out the tip of the day. We also have a full week of them in the can, is a look at kind of what we're doing on the lead gen side of things. For specifically our Unicorn Wealth brand, but for some other things, other brands that we're working on that are doing really well. And so I wanted to share kind of exactly what we're doing, give you a behind the scenes look, if that's something you're interested in. So let me know if you guys are interested in seeing that. Would that be something you guys are interested in? Seeing a behind the scenes look at some of our top lead gen funnels and strategies. I can also throw up that little banner. It's probably the only thing I like about this thing. I mean, it's good, it's consistent and stuff, but the ability to add like scenes and filters and stuff is probably the top reason why I keep it. It's actually the restream part of it's probably the most annoying. I think if I just did it without restream, I'd be happier with this platform. Okay, Cindy says yes. So at least we got one person. Cindy is pumped. Eric says yeah. Or we could do, Eric, is we could just talk Avengers Endgame and just like you and I can just have a conversation, 1-to-1, and and just ignore everyone else. I'm sure a few people might be interested in Endgame, right? Okay, so let me throw this guy on over here. Let's head over. So we started realizing, and I shared this a little while ago, is with our Unicorn Wealth brand, we're doing a lot of lead gen for it. And so I started running a poll, this economic collapse or continued bull market poll. And it did really well out of the gate. We were getting, $2 leads, $2.50 leads. But then we ran a political poll at the kind of same time, and the political poll just exploded. It just got an insane amount of like engagement. The views are off the chart. It was just a massive home run. I'm going to pull this over here so I can see comments because the restream comment thing isn't working. So what I decided to do is create a new variation of that where I kind of took a political angle. And what happened is all of a sudden our lead costs went down massively. Like we got cut in half. So now we're getting like some days, like some of these ad sets, 38-cent leads, 83-cent leads, 50-cent leads, 74-cent leads. And I'll show you an example of, by the way, this audience, this poll, like audience, absolutely kills it for any of these. It's a paid survey opinion poll interest, absolutely crushes it. So yeah, we went from getting like 2% click-through rates up to 6.42. If you look at lifetime, about 7.59% lifetime click-through rates now. It's on the link, not just on the and actually realize, can you guys? I'm looking at the screen over here. Okay, you guys can see. You can see my screen, right? For whatever reason, the video got delayed on my group view, so I couldn't see it. So it looks like we're good. So let me dive in here. So we're really running this one. This is like the strongest angle. Let me pull this up. Okay. So the ads basically, are we going to enter a recession this year? And if so, who in Washington is most responsible? President Trump or the Democrats? Your opinion matters. Vote now. And then we have multiple headline variations. Is a recession coming this year? Take our quick poll. Vote in minutes. It matters. And so what's crazy about this is like, what we realize is putting, and so I'll go through we're using Outgrow for the actual poll. And I'm going to show you what we're doing on the poll side in a second. I just want to show you the ad copy for a second. Like, what we realize is we need to, on the front end of any marketer, any business, right? Your job is to engage, entertain, and grab attention. Like, that's your first and foremost job, because nobody cares about your product. That's like, I hate to be, the downer, right? And like be negative. But the truth is that people aren't on Facebook to buy your crap, right? People aren't on Facebook to buy another widget, to sign up for your biz op, to buy my marketing course. They're just not there for that, right? And so we need to realize is, well, why are people on Facebook? Why are people on Instagram? Why are people on social media? And what I realized, and I've known this for a long time, but it really hit me when I started running these angles. People love getting into debates. People love having their voice heard. That is probably the single most, enticing factor of social media. I think one of the elements of social media that has caused it to become so ubiquitous to our daily life and grow so incredibly fast is that it gave everybody, no matter if you're a Joe Schmo or Kim Kardashian, a platform to have your voice heard, right? It democratized influence. So now if you're a rural farmer in Idaho, you can have an opinion about politics in Washington, and people can see your opinion, and you can get traction. That's really enticing. And so what I started doing is thinking, okay, well, how can I arrange my copy and my ad and my angle to basically facilitate that platform, right? How can I turn my ad into a thread, into a platform that encourages people to share their opinion, the opinions they want to share? And so politics is, if you've been on Facebook lately, and you're on obviously now, politics is probably the most divisive and engaging topic on most of our feeds, right? If you see any post on your feed that has to do with anything politics, it has tons of comments, right? If you want to get a long thread of comments on a post on Facebook, just talk about your opinion on a political issue. That's a surefire way to get engagement. And so what we wanted to do is, obviously with Unicorn Wealth, we want to get people into our marketing system, into our machine, that are interested in growing their wealth, right? And so we want to lead with economics, right? Which is, hey, do you think recession's going to happen this year, or do you think a bull market's going to continue? That's a very financial driven question. But we can work in politics, which is the engaging component of it, by basically putting a blame on it, right? So, hey, do you think a bull market's going to continue, or a recession this year? But not just that question, who's responsible for this, good thing or bad thing? Then all of a sudden people just had to share. Because look at this. So we have 4 variations of the ad. And let me go back real quick so we have 4 variations of the ad. We've spent under $1,300 total for this campaign. This ad has 1,800 comments on it, 990 engagements, and 188 shares. So with less than $1,300 spent, our top of funnel ad has 1,800 comments on it. Each one of these comments, shares, engagements pushes this ad out to all these people's friends. And then you look down here and you start looking at some of the comments, and some of these comments, like this is my favorite. This comment right here has 152 replies, 272 engagements. Think about that. One comment on one ad that has less than $1,300 in spend across the entire campaign has 152 replies. How many of you have an ad right now running that spent a few $1,000s that doesn't even have 152 comments on the ad? I can raise my hand for that one because we have it with other businesses. I would love to have an ad with 152 comments on it, even 100 comments. Most ads have, a few dozen, even after thousands of dollars in spend. So what we realized is that this is the magic. The magic on top of funnel for lead generation, for awareness, for brand building is polarization. Is not trying to push an opinion. We don't want the brand to seem like we have an opinion, right? So Unicorn Wealth isn't saying we think Trump is good or bad. All we're doing is asking a question. So we're saying, hey, are we going to enter a recession, or are we going to continue the bull market? And if so, who's responsible? Democrats or Republicans, basically. We have an image of a bear market, a bull market. So a question. All we're doing as the brand is we're basically sponsoring the forum. That's the way I view this, is we have basically created a sponsored forum for our demographic to engage on it. Now keep in mind, these comments and stuff is not the objective of this campaign, right? This is a website conversion campaign. So this is optimized for leads, right? So this ad not only has gotten 1,800 comments, but it's driven almost 1,500 leads. Not only is it getting like leads, it's getting very detailed leads. So let me take you through what the actual poll is. So let's open this up. Because our goal here isn't just to get leads, it's to get as much data as possible, as early on as possible, to segment and personalize the marketing post lead, right? So let's open this. I don't know why it's taking so long to open. Okay. So here's the landing page. So we've had 1,700 Americans have shared their opinion. I can continue with Facebook if I want. I can enter my email. So I'm going to click continue with Facebook. Okay. So question number 1. Do you think we will enter a recession in 2019 or continue the bull market? So if I say bull market, I now go to question number 2. This now asks me, which market are you most optimistic about? Because now we have a lot of offers on the back end. We have offers for cannabis, gold investing, all these different things. Most people would just hit their email list with each one. I don't want to hit somebody that's not interested in gold with a gold offer. But now these people are telling me, hey, I think there's a bull market this year, and I'm most bullish on real estate. So now I know if I'm going to email this person or retarget this person, I'm only going to retarget them with offers that are for a bullish economy in real estate. Like that's specific, right? I'm not going to waste cannabis on that person. Now I ask, how much do you plan on investing? Let's say it's a 25 to 50,000. Because again, here, I don't want to hit people if they're not going to invest any money this year. It's not worth it for me to market to them if they're not going to invest anything. At least specific offers. Maybe if I have an offer for very, very beginning investors, maybe it's marketed as, hey, invest your first $5,000 in the stock market profitably. We have a package for that. That's great to go after that demographic. Now I ask, who's responsible for the continued bull market? So I can say Trump, in which case it'll ask if I'm going to vote for him, in which case I can say yes or no. Or I can say the Democrats here, which will take me to a list of candidates and the Democratic ticket that I think will beat Trump. So basically this question, I find out who they're going to vote for. So if I say Trump, it's now going to take me, are you going to vote for him? Let's say I say yes. So boom, I just got all that information from each person. Now I can go in here, let me go to people. So now I'm passing all this data through to our email marketing system. And keep in mind, we just launched this like 10 days ago. This is a brand new business, brand new offer, brand new everything. Come on. Doesn't want to load. There we go. Okay. So let's take this person. I think they should have filled out all the information. There we go. So I'm passing through all of this custom field data from Outgrow. So basically I know, okay, so this person thinks we're going to stay in the bull market. They're most bullish on gold and silver. They're going to invest less than $5,000 this year. President Trump's responsible, and they're going to vote for President Trump. So I've gotten a lot of information through a relatively fun poll. So this person's told me all that information. I can set up rules in Drip to tag them as all this stuff. What I can also do is pass these off to custom audiences. So if I go to rules, I now can set up like, okay, this person's voting for Trump. Here's the rule that I have in here. So when that custom field comes in, it tags them in Drip, plus it creates a Facebook custom audience. It adds them to a, I don't know why it didn't, that's weird. Why it didn't save the audience there. There we go. Okay. So anyway, it adds this person to a Facebook custom audience as well. So all of this data is then getting distributed and building a profile on this person across my email marketing, across my Facebook marketing, all that good stuff. So what we've done now, let's go back here, is now we're also looking, well, how can we diversify this across not just email, but also other platforms? So what I did is I went into Messenger. We created a brand new Messenger account for the business. And I built out that poll here in Messenger, in ManyChat. So basically, we built out this this flow right here. Before I keep going, is this interesting to you guys? Is everyone thumbs up on this, that this is valuable, and you guys can see how this could be applied to your business and how your marketing could benefit from this? Let me know if this is something you guys find valuable, interesting, important, all that good stuff. Just hit that like button. Give me a break to recharge. Cool. Glad that it's interesting. So then what I did is I came in here and recreated the poll with ManyChat. So let's go and so basically, and I'll show you guys what this looks like in Messenger in my flow. So basically, people can opt in, and I'll show you how to opt in there. And they get the first question, which is, and you got to keep humor. You got to keep this fun. You got to have a brand, right? So we have a GIF here of Thor in Ragnarok saying, it's time to get as excited as seeing Thor, as Hulk seeing Thor in Sakaar because the poll starts now. Question number 1: do you think we'll enter a bull market or recession in 2019? So same questions, and then basically, hey, if they say recession, we tag them as recession. ManyChat now has the ability to add people to custom audiences, which is really cool. So now I can integrate directly with my Facebook ad account. So they're put in a custom audience. If they choose the recession path, they go down these multiple questions. If they choose the bull market, same thing. Different questions, different tags. So we're building out this robust profile on all of our leads coming in. And so now looking back at the ads, we started testing going to a ManyChat landing page, and we're getting similar cost per leads. We're getting 89-cent cost per leads now. The only difference here is that instead of going to the Outgrow quiz, they're going to the ManyChat landing page. So I'll show you where this goes. So I click sign up. So now they go to this landing page, which is hosted by ManyChat. The cool thing with this, I think a lot of people struggle with Messenger when it comes to getting subscribers with paid. Because if you use the message objective in Facebook, I noticed the costs are really, really high. Because there's that stupid get started block. There's like this extra step where people have to go to the page, then click get started to trigger the messages. And it's very generic and it takes people out of the flow. So we're always looking for ways to bypass and decrease the friction. So by using the landing page tool with ManyChat, a growth tool, you can actually pixel this. So I can actually run website conversion ads optimized for a custom conversion instead of having to use like a PPE or traffic or message objective, which get crappier results. So this looks almost identical to my Outgrow quiz. I click get started. This triggers the opt-in, which I have set up for a custom conversion. And so then I just got this question on Facebook. So I'll show you guys the flow. So here's question 1. So again, we have Thor right there. You know, I like to use GIFs in the flow. I think it just adds a lot of fun. So from here, I can do bull market. Boom. Next question. Pick the one I'm most bullish on. There we go. So it goes through the whole thing. But yeah, again, the cool thing here is that because I can create a custom conversion, this is a website conversion campaign. And so I'm actually optimizing for leads, not just like PPE or traffic or things that don't get as good of results. So let's go back here. So I go to growth tools. So this is what we're using right here. So we have a similar conversion rate as we do in the, it's actually a little better than the outgrow page. So 120 impressions, 52 opt-ins, so almost a 50% conversion rate. And then out of the 52 opt-ins, 74% have clicked the initial message to start the poll. So pretty solid numbers there. And again, what's really cool about this growth tool, it's super easy to make these landing pages. Like really, really easy. You just drag and drop. You have limited options. You choose the submitted state, what happens. You choose the opt-in action. Okay, I can have it go right to the poll that I built, the flow that I built. I can put them in a sequence if I want them to. And then set up, I can put my pixel ID in here, and I can get the landing page URL, and I'm good to go. So I think this is like my favorite option for straight like ManyChat lead gen is that landing page, because it's the most natural. It's the best for optimization. So now what are we doing? So what we're also experimenting with is now additional polls. So we're going to start doing more and more and seeing which catch on, which go viral. So we just launched this one right now, capitalism versus socialism. Let's throw this up. So this one's getting, let's see, 31% click-through rates on it, some as high as 60%. So I'll show you guys what this one actually looks like. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Wrong one. Okay. So here's our newest one. I'm going to build out a full poll on the back end of this now that it's like gotten some traction. But basically we set it up to do comment and subscribe to start, just so we can get some momentum and get some leads in. So basically it's, do you believe in capitalism or socialism? Vote below and be heard. Special thank you. We'll send you our latest ebook for free right here in Messenger. It's a picture of Trump and AOC, capitalism or socialism. I literally launched this about an hour and a half ago. We've spent a whopping $4 on it so far. So we spent $4, and it has 67 comments, 9 shares, 40 engagements. And a lot of these, comments already have, a ton of engagements on it. And they're getting put into we have a comment to subscribe here. So we've gotten 3 opt-ins so far. It'll probably go up as people respond to the messages. But comment to subscribe is always going to have a lower opt-in rate than like a landing page, because it's, people aren't really agreeing to it fully. Like a landing page, they're going there knowing they want to do this poll. The comment, they might just passionately type a comment without reading the full description, knowing they're going to get a message. But anyway, so we have 3 people opted in, and now I'll probably create a full poll out of this. We're also only tracking first level comments here. So yeah, this like literally had like nobody in our audience. So like we had, under like 70 people a week ago. So we're now, growing this, probably have a few thousand by the end of the week at this pace. So let me go back to the main screen. Okay. Awesome. So are any questions about that? About kind of what we're doing on the lead generation side? Basically what we're just seeing is that by creating these really engaging polls, these surveys, quizzes, basically interactive content top of funnel, and treating our top of funnel ads less like instead of us trying to get you to go somewhere, we're trying to get you to come into the conversation. If that makes sense. So a lot of ads are trying to take somebody from Facebook and get them to leave and go somewhere else. We're actually, with these ads, trying to do the exact opposite to start. We're trying to get them to stay and engage deeper, right? Share their opinion, share their thoughts, act impulsively almost, act emotionally, because that's where you get the greatest volume, and that's where you get the most raw, passionate discussion, interaction. So yeah, I hope that makes sense to everybody. Just kind of what our approach is there, what our strategy is there, what our angle is there, because I personally believe that the marketers who are able to start thinking that way, and who are able to stop doing the same thing just because everyone else is doing it, are going to win the most, right? Like what we're doing right here is slightly unorthodox, right? We're trying to focus on entertainment and engagement and fostering conversations and dialogue, and being polarizing, right? Most ads on Facebook are very vanilla. They're very generic. They follow a specific formula, and they try to not push any buttons, right? But I think we've seen this happen time and time and time again, where when you push buttons, you get feedback, right? Being polarizing, I believe, like, sure, you're going to piss people off, right? But I would rather piss off 30% of the people that see my ad and have 40% just love me for it, 30% love me for it, than piss off nobody, or even just 10%, because people are just pissed off for no reason nowadays, and have nobody care about you, nobody love you, right? Nobody really go for your brand. Eric said, why run ManyChat parallel? Will one win? Will one serve a slightly different function? So right now, the reason we're running on parallel is basically I wanted to test a theory of whether we could get one channel cheaper than the other channel. That was like test number one. Ironically, they've come in almost identical, which is interesting. I didn't expect that. The same cost per lead. The other is that doing email marketing nowadays is a lot harder than it used to be, right? Just getting in somebody's inbox is harder than it used to be, let alone getting people to open your email and then click your email and stuff. And so basically what we're looking at is, hey, Messenger, if we can get really, really cost-effective leads on Messenger, we don't have to go through all the hurdles we have to go through on email to get opens and get clicks. Especially because with Unicorn Wealth, we have so much content arbitrage opportunity. We have so many CPL and CPA offers that are content first, that work within the Messenger environment and aren't as salesy. And so we think Messenger can actually be a better platform, because we have people that are, hey, we'll pay you, $4 per click, outbound click from this article, and we want, 5,000 clicks, 10,000 clicks, whatever it might be. And so we can do a blast to this really great article from Messenger. We're not promoting, we're not salesy. It's here's a great piece of content, and get, a few thousand clicks and just, make a ton of money that way. But yeah, I mean, basically right now it's honestly, a lot of it's just experimentation. It's just, testing different theories, seeing which platform resonates most effectively with our target audience. And honestly building both up. For the poll, we're also getting phone numbers on Outgrow. So we just threw a phone number field on there about like 4 days ago. We have 250 phone numbers have come in as well. So our big thing is just building up as many assets as fast as possible going into the 2020 election, because I think we have so much opportunity there to really own a massive audience. And that's at the end of the day, like, I think if you own an audience, if you have the not when I say own, I don't mean just like they're on your list, but actually like they listen to you, you entertain them, you engage them, they actually look out for your content because it's fun. That is really, really valuable, and there's going to be a lot of money to be made from those audiences in the next year and a half. So that's really the big focus and the primary goal behind it at this point is just building up a few different hubs from the ground up, because it's a brand new site, brand new property. The Russians would pay well, Eric. We have a few. We're already talking to some Russian consulting agencies. I'm just kidding. We haven't picked sides yet. We're pro America, so the Russians can't offer us enough money. But yeah, it is crazy how much data we're building up, and we're actually in talks with some of the like super PACs and different groups, because hey, we can, as a third party that's not affiliated with any political party, we can build up a lot of data, and that data is super valuable, right? And there's a lot of JV partnerships that we can do there. It is kind of scary, though. I got to be honest with you. It is kind of scary, just the sheer amount of data that people are willing to share. And this is what's interesting. Everyone gave Facebook crap for all this privacy stuff. Like, people are like voluntarily answering these polls and surveys. So nobody's like, it would be one thing if people were hacking and forcing and pulling data from somebody, but like a lot of these people are just, they're passionate Trump fans. They're passionate, Bernie Sanders fans, and they want to share their opinions, right? And so it's interesting to me that like we're not even giving away prizes. Like there's no incentive to do this. There's literally no incentive to fill out our polls. People are just doing it because they're passionate about it. So it is interesting to me seeing just people complain about privacy, yet still, like when they're passionate about something, put all that to the side and just say, I want to share, I need to share because it's important right now, I'm acting emotionally. And then down the road, they're like, oh, I shouldn't have shared that, but I shared it. And Cindy said, when will the new Facebook course be out? So we already have the people beta testing. I released it last month to our Unicorn Academy and everybody. The official launch is the 23rd. So the 15th we start the big affiliate push. So if you want to be an affiliate to pay traffic training, I'll drop the link below. Let me grab that real quick. To become a partner, there's still a JV, an affiliate partner. Paid traffic training launch. So you can be, if you want to be a partner for that, we have a lot of big names signed up. I'm really excited about it. So that opens up the 15th. So promotion starts the 15th to a webinar. So I'm doing I'm doing a one-time webinar on the 23rd. So May 23rd at noon. I'm doing a big webinar, sharing something I've never shared before. It's a brand new webinar, brand new content, nothing I've shared anywhere in the past. And then at the end of that will be the big announcement of paid traffic training being launched officially, and there'll be some special bonuses and all kinds of cool stuff. So I can drop that as well here. Save your for my upcoming live training. So yeah, that'll be exciting. Again, I've been doing these daily tips. So hopefully everyone's been finding value in those tips every day. It's a lot of work to every day to record content, upload it, distribute it, all that stuff. But I'm having a blast doing it. Tip number 6 was dropped today. Again, that was automation rules. If you missed it, the link is in the comments below for today's tip. And then each tip has a vault. So you can go back from that page and look at all the other day's tips. So super excited about that. And again, if you want to become an affiliate partner, the link's below, paytraffictraining.com/partner. That's to do the launch, 50% commissions. And then if you want to save a seat for my upcoming live webinar, no fake scarcity, none of that bullshit like everyone else's. They have fake timers, they have fake inventory counters, fake seats available. None of that, right? The timer on there is when it's actually happening. It's a one-time thing. It's live. There's no fake seats, right, where only 500 people can be on it. I don't know what Webinar Jam's cap is. I'd imagine they might have some type of cap, so there might be some limit. But I doubt if you save it now, you're going to hit it. So I don't need to use any of that to get people on the webinar. All I'm going to say is that it's going to teach you some crazy stuff. Like if you guys found value in what we just covered today, that's like a tiny fraction of what will be covered in the webinar. That'll be a piece of it, the way we're using quizzes, polls, stuff. But that's just like one part of the entire webinar. So I'm really, really excited about that. Pull back the curtains. 2019 ad playbook. Okay, drop that. Awesome. Well, I have to hop off because in 3 minutes, I went over. I was only supposed to do a little live today. I have to do our Unicorn Academy training. Then I have a call after that, and then I have videos to shoot after that. So it's Mondays are a long day with phone calls already, and then it's just full of other stuff. So it's going to be a crazy night, but I always enjoy that. Again, if you're watching the replay and you have any questions, just tag me, let me know. If you ask questions and I didn't get to them, it's because I have the streaming over like multiple places, so it's confusing to get the chat. So just hit me, just like tag me in the comments after this, and I'll come back and answer them. I apologize if I missed it. And most importantly, if you're finding value in these videos, I don't ask this enough. I don't ask for favors. I'm very, very bad at actually asking for things, which is ironic as a marketer. But if you are finding value in these videos, these daily tips, these lives that I do, I would love it if you just, shared it with your network. Click that share button, shared it on your page, shared it to one of your groups. If you just dropped a comment saying how it's helped you. And lastly, if you just hit the like button, right? That's a simple one. But that would mean a lot to me. I put in a lot of work to create this content every single day. Our team puts in a lot of work, and all the support that we can get from the community. That's why I do it, is for you guys. So the support, the shares, the comments, the likes, they don't go unnoticed, and it helps continue to spread the message. So I hope you guys are able to do that for me today. That's my one ask. Enjoy tip number 6. Enjoy the previous few tips, and make sure you check back tomorrow for tip number 7. It'll be a full week of tips. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.